Hey there guys, out here in the camper today. Wanted to do this video because I've been getting a couple questions about the interior space, how much room is there to move around, what's storage like, what was used for the build. So I figured I'd just do the video. I think that might be a little bit easier to show everybody how things went together and how I have things set up. Makes it a little bit easier if you guys have any questions. I think I might be able to cover things now. And basically, I guess I'll just start with the electrical stuff. I think I had shown in some of the pictures. I have my electrical panels actually back here. Shine a light in here so you guys can see. I have a Blue Sea fuse block in there. I have, get the paperwork out of the way that I pack in there. I have, I believe they were number 6. Power cables that I'm using up to my Optima battery. You can see them hooked in here. I got fuses for all the different systems on here. I'm set up. I have, as you can see, basically a car stereo that I had left over from another project. I have a galley light out here next to the door that shoots down on the table that I use for cooking. I do have, obviously, interior dome lights that you can see running here. I do have 12-volt charging ports kind of scattered throughout. Most of my items I have 12-volt chargers for. Obviously, cell phone, my camera batteries, GoPro, obviously. Trying to think what else. My tablet I usually carry with me. That way, rainy days, between the tablet, a radio, and some books, gives you something to keep occupied when you're in this small space. Beyond that, over here in the corner, you can actually see this is the solar panel charge controller. I do have a pair of solar panels mounted up on the roof of this that right now it's parked in the shed, so I'm not getting a whole lot of power out of them. But I have noticed that on trips that I've taken with it so far, the longest one to date has been to Maine. That was for, I think it was about 9 days. I was up in Maine, and between using the radio, using the lights, and a couple other things charging throughout that time, I didn't have any trouble at all keeping the battery up. And then that's made me feel a lot better about carrying the stuff in here and using it. That I'm not going to have to hook up to the truck for some time or something and have it running and charging the house battery. But so far that hasn't been an issue. It is a little chilly in here. It warmed up quite a bit. I actually tried filming this video this morning, and I had this GoPro inside of its case, and when I got it in to edit the video to upload it up for you guys, I noticed that I really couldn't hear a word I was saying because I had it inside the waterproof box. So figured I'd come out here today now that it warmed up a little bit more and try this again. As you can see, I got the cabinetry reinstalled. I had pulled it all out and I actually put a coat of clear polyurethane on it. It's a satin finish. I don't know if you probably can't pick up the sheen with the flashlight on it or anything, but it actually it turned out really nice. Really happy with the finish. Probably has about 4 coats on it with like 400 or 600 grit sanding in between, and I'm really happy with it. Sealed up the wood very nicely. Has a nice kind of like golden color to it, and I was having issues, I'll admit, with condensation on the interior of this camper when I was using it. I think the biggest reason for that is right now I don't have any type of heating system in here. Future plans would probably include trying to get a small furnace out of a pop-up or maybe even out of a truck camper if I could find one. And if that wouldn't work, I'm also considering using one of the small catalytic like Little Buddy propane heaters, and that really wouldn't be used to run through the night, obviously, for the carbon monoxide concerns. But I would look at it for maybe putting in for 15 or 20 minutes before coming in to lay down, just to get the space up to temperature, maybe warm up the sleeping bag, because it would just be a lot more comfortable to do that. And then in the morning, maybe hit it on for a couple of minutes before climbing out of the bag and getting dressed for the day. But at this point, that's probably about the only improvement that I have on tap for the interior. That's a major upgrade. I'm still trying to work out storage things as I carry things and as I figure out what I really do need to carry and what I don't need to carry. Obviously, there's not a huge amount of storage. I have some space here. Typically, I just stick books in there. I'll stick my phone in there. I have a little no weather radio that I usually carry with me also to get updates on weather in places where I don't have any type of phone reception. In here in the back, obviously I have another cabinet. This one here, I typically carry all of my camera stuff. So my GoPro, my tripod, my SLR, all of the charging cords for all of those. My tablet usually goes in here. I have a second first aid kit that I typically carry in here too, in addition to the one that's back in the galley area, and I also have one that I carry in my tow vehicle. Back here, I usually, up on these coat hooks, I keep my hydration pack. It just seems to be a good place to keep it out of the way. Really not much else there. I do have a little mirror that I picked up here probably a week or two ago. I was noticing before I would always forget to carry one, and I was always trying to make sure that, you know, teeth were brushed and all that crap in the mirror of my truck, and that just ended up being a bit too much of an inconvenience. So now I've got that set up in here, just little creature comforts. I do have more cubby storage back here. Again, just like a little drop zone area. This side here, that cubby in the back, was originally set up. I have one of those easy up canopies that I was carrying in here for some time. Now I carry that in the bed of my pickup, now that I've got a fiberglass topper for that. It's not something I use you know, a lot of the time, but if I'm someplace where it's a little drizzly or rainy, it just does give you a place where you can get out and stretch your legs without having to put on a coat or anything and get all drenched. Let's see what else. As you can see, window blinds. These are actually you know, like dual fabric window blinds, basically for a house. I got them off of the internet in the custom sizes that I needed, and it's one of those over-the-top things I really didn't need of this level, but I'm really happy with how they worked out so far. Made up a door curtain for this door after my last trip. I got tired of stuffing a sleeping bag stuff sack in between the frame and the gasket to give myself some privacy in here when I'm getting changed in the mornings and night. Beyond that, the floor is, I think I explained this before, just a vinyl, basically a remnant sheet that I picked up at, I think it was Home Depot, might have been Lowe's. Not glued in place. It's actually held in place by all of my baseboard trim around the perimeter here. Again, this is all held in place with, let's see if I can get one of these caps off. Well, I guess I can't. Oh, no, there we go. These are all held in place by the Craig screw kit. Basically, it's a little jig that you clamp your material into, and it drills you a nice little hole to put in things on an angle. I use that for fabrication of all the cabinet faces and all of this other cabinetry, so I have all concealed fasteners. I will admit I'm very anal about that sort of thing. Obviously, you can tell by the rest of the build, I try to hold it to a high standard, and I'm really pleased with how it's come together. There are things I would probably do different on the next build. I don't know when that will be, but as most of us have found, this kind of starts out with one little thing and morphs into, you know, something completely different. I think the only other question a lot of folks were having were about space. Hopefully I can try to show this to you guys. Basically, when I get changed in here, I'm able to kneel on the mattress at this point, and you know, while my head does brush up against the ceiling here, I do have enough space to be able to, you know, slide on a pair of pants, get a shirt on and all that, and not be, you know, too much tumbling around back and forth. And then as far as lying down, basically I usually, and I don't have it in here right now, I usually have a down sleeping bag. I carry multiple ones with me, just depending on what the temperature is going to be. And I would stuff one of them inside of a loose stuff sack and then back here behind my head as a pillow. And then as you can see down here, I do have room for my feet. I'm right near the cabinet, but it's obviously enough space for me to fit in here fairly comfortably. Haven't had any issues with, rolling around and knocking into the wall or rolling off my impromptu mattress. And while we're on the mattress, that's one thing that I do hope in the spring probably to get around to addressing. Right now, it's actually like a block of foam that I picked up from an upholsterer shop in one of the local stores nearby, and a memory foam mattress topper. I think it was like $30 from Walmart. That one I have doubled over right now. They're both stuffed inside of a cheap Coleman sleeping bag that I have turned inside out, so I've got the nice flannel finish where you lie instead of the polyester, I guess it would be, what would normally be the outside bag. The plan that I really have for that is I want to take that foam and kind of cut it into, the full width strips, probably about a foot to a foot and a half in this direction. Stack up the foam doubled up, the memory foam doubled up on top of this block and upholster them. And the idea would be is then I could take each one of those blocks and kind of set up one cushion, put one on top, and then maybe put one just leaning up against this wall. And then the idea would be basically when I'm stuck in here on a rainy day, I'd be able to kind of shimmy up to the corner, which is what I'm doing now. And really, it's not that bad. It actually supports you quite well, and my head kind of like fits back in the corner. And I've definitely fallen asleep in here sitting like this on a couple of rainy days on trips that I've been on. But I figure if I set them up as cushions, I'll be able to stock them away in different areas on the interior here and clear up some floor space so that when I'm in here, I have a bit more room to spread out without basically crawling or climbing or stepping on top of my sleeping pads. And I guess beyond that, obviously, operable windows. I have the thermostatically controlled fantastic fan up here. I'll go ahead and say it. It's pretty stinking fantastic. I used that a couple of times in the summer, and it sucks the air out of here like you wouldn't believe. Basically, you open up these windows, you open up the vent on the bottom of the door here, and you just put that on level 1, and you can be pretty comfortable in here, even on the warm summer nights where it's still in the 70s. It's really not too bad. So that's really about all I can think of right now. So hopefully the audio is a little bit better on this video. Obviously you can tell I've got a bit of a chill in here. It's 35 degrees outside, so it's about the same temperature in here. It hasn't warmed up yet with me sitting in here talking my mouth off. So hopefully if you guys have any other questions, you'll feel free to post them up. I love answering them. I love giving everybody on there inspiration for their builds. I mean, that's where I came up with the inspiration for this one. So I'll probably do a video in the near future on the exterior. Hopefully we'll get a warmer day. I've got some work I want to do for wheels and tires on this, but I'll leave that as a surprise, just to keep you guys interested in the build thread. I don't want to give too much of it away too soon, but so far it's really been treating me well. I do appreciate all the compliments you guys have, and I hope I can give you guys inspiration on your builds too. So I guess that's it. Signing off. Bye-bye.